in the 11th house, how do they appear to the outside? So Venus in the 11th house, the house of society, of communities, organizations, politics. Venus in the 11th house usually has big social circles, and they're very involved in anything social, like maybe they're part of the UN group in their city, or they're activists, maybe they're part of Greenpeace, but they might also be part of some like IT community, or just very interested in this kind of futuristic jobs like design or architecture, AI, virtual reality. So these guys are very much, they might also be part of like an online community. That might also be their thing. It doesn't have to be like a real community. It can be an online community, which makes up a big part of their life. But definitely they will be part of some big social circles. And they always might have like a bit of a eccentric, weird streak to them, because Venus also shows, like our aesthetics. So Venus in Aquarius might always be like a bit weird, like not mainstream, even if it's just like a few details on them that make them different, but they will have it, like a different hair color, although the rest of them is like super normal. Other than that, they are not too emotional, so they might appear like a bit cold, or maybe sometimes, if you don't really interpret them well, they might appear arrogant, because they're not very interested in connecting to people just for the sake of connecting to people. They're only interested in connecting to people for the sake of sharing like a vision, or if they know that these people are part of their social group and follow the same interests. And their interests are definitely not something inconsequential, but it will be something of importance for society, because they have this vision that they have to influence society. This is their thing. That said, they don't display much emotion. Also because they are always so aware of the group, right? They're not a very individualistic person, actually. They are very like oriented towards the group and what the group needs and what society needs from them. And they just when they're in a group setting, they don't like to make anybody feel excluded. That's why they will not display so much attention to one specific person within a social setting. So it is kind of, there is a specific way to get their attention. It's not easy. It's not just, you're pretty, you show up and they look at you, they don't care. They are, very focused on their stuff. They have, their little world, and this is what they are in. And if you want to get to them, you need to go into that world. They're not going to see you if you're outside. Generally, their choice of partners, like as seen from the outside, might be like very weird. People might not understand why they choose specific people. It might feel like they don't really fit together, or their partners might be very eccentric or out of the ordinary and different from them. But they like this. Like Venus in the 11th house, they like something that is a bit quirky. So they also have very different ways of choosing their partners than what would be expected. Because let's go to their inside, how they feel on the inside. Venus in the 11th house, they are not the most passionate or most romantic people. So when they look at love, they look at it in a much more pragmatic, much more dry way than the rest of us do. They are probably the most platonic of all when it comes to love, because they look at lovers as friends first, which is not the worst thing to do, right? Because they look for actual compatibility, and it's pretty hard to distract them with passion or with attraction. They feel passion, they feel attraction, but it's not something they pay attention to. They just, feel like that's, like some lower, vibrational stuff that's happening down there in my body. I don't care. I choose my partner with my rational mind, with my intellect. I don't choose my partner with my hormones. They are very, very in their head, very much in their head, and very much above the, whole emotional thing. They feel like, emotions are something irritating and, inconvenient, very inconvenient. Yeah, they're the closest to being kind of a bit robotic, I guess. They don't like all this stuff that makes humans humans, like being dramatic and being overly emotional is like really off-putting to them. So if they connect to somebody, they will search these people definitely within their social groups or within their interest groups. And they will want lovers who follow the same ideals or the same visions that they do. That's very important to them, that they, have something bigger than just the romance to follow together. They romantically might appear a bit detached. They're not going to be the person who's going to, be like sweet talking or giving you roses and stuff. They don't, do that very much, but their way of expressing love is like involving you in their vision. It's like, okay, let's, change the world together. That said, they are very philanthropic, meaning they love people in general. That is cool. But if you're their partner, it might be a bit difficult because you might not see how they treat you differently than anybody else, because probably they won't. They will treat you just the same they treat their friends and they treat everybody else. They won't display more affection to you or, be more clingy with you or give you more attention. They don't do this kind of stuff. For them, commitment is not, public displays of affection or romance. For them, the fact that they are giving you more time than everybody else and that they are kind of involving you in their life is their kind of commitment, right? So they don't seek to display this in an emotional way too much on the outside, like with other people. Like when they're on their own, when you are alone with them, of course, at some point they will be emotional as well. Of course, they're not like, cold-hearted stones, but just like when you guys are out, they will probably not be this expected couple person. They will not act like a couple. They will probably treat you like a friend when you're around other people. Their social groups and their social involvement is the most important thing to them. And lovers are definitely not. Like lovers are not the first thing on their list, and all of their, group activities are more important. So you'll have to understand that you're going to be involved in that a lot, and there's not going to be so much alone time and romance time. Yeah, they might be really, really attracted to somebody who is displaying social engagement. An activist, a visionary, a politician, a humanitarian worker, a revolutionary, like a rebel, or also a hacker, or somebody who's like really proficient in IT. Yeah, they need to see that you have a plan and you have the tools to change the world, and that you want to make an influence. This is like what really turns them on about people. And because they are more kind of rational in their whole approach to love, they are not the person who's going to give you drama or who's going to be like very like fiery about fights or about anything. They just have a very rational approach to everything. In that regard, they are very open to kind of trying out all forms of relationship. They're not the person who's going to be jealous. They're not the person who's going to be possessive, because they just don't, obviously they feel like we all feel these emotions, but they are just very good at not letting these emotions rule them at all. So they are most inclined towards polyamory or open kinds of relationships, because anyways they are, like I said, philanthropic and kind of display the same amount of affection towards most people that are close to them. So for them it's not like a big step to also have, romantic kinds of relationships to more than one person. Yeah, they are very good in problem solving because of this, obviously, because they don't get too emotionally involved in anything. So, fights with them are almost impossible because they're going to stay very calm, very rational about it, unless they have, some fiery aspects in their chart that change stuff. Yeah, Like this kind of passion and drama things are really irritating to them. If you want to date a Venus in the 11th house, you definitely need to find out about their interests and about their social groups and about their friends and what they care about. Like, what is their vision? What is it that they are so passionate about changing in this world? And then you need to, connect with them through that. You need to, I don't know, invite them to go to the elections together if they're interested in politics, or to like a talk from an inspiring person for them, or go to a demonstration together, or engage in a conversation with them, just something that shows them that you are informed about topics that interest them as well. So this is kind of how you can get to them, and don't expect it to be fast. They will probably be very slow, and it's going to be a friendship that develops first, and don't be too quick with fire, with passion. Yeah, just let them come, let them slowly warm up and start to value you as a friend first, and then they will keep their commitment with you. And the last thing that might be the case with them is that you can meet them online very well. Because like I said in the beginning, they might be part of online communities instead of real communities, so you would have to search for them in the virtual world instead of in this one. Yeah, like online communication, online sex, everything online is probably like a cool idea with them. All right, so I hope this helped you to understand your Venus in the 11th house partner or yourself. Yeah, let me know what you think. Looking forward to your feedback.